India and the UK on Thursday inked a landmark free trade agreement, FTA, that will significantly improve market access and will boost bilateral trade by around $34 billion annually.
Well, I'm delighted to announce the final signatures and execution of documents for the free trade agreement between the United Kingdom and India, an agreement which is very fair, equitable and balanced, which ensures that all the sensitive sectors in India, such as dairy or poultry or rice, sugar, and many other sensitive areas are protected. In several sectors, we have got a long transition period, and we have ensured that the benefits of this agreement will go to such sectors which are of very high value add or very high technologically based in the United Kingdom, which is good for the Indian people. Similarly, the United Kingdom has opened more than 99% of the traded value of exports from India in this FTA, so that all our textiles, our footwear and leather products, our pharmaceuticals, our toys, our furniture, processed foods, all of them will now have access to the UK market. It will provide huge opportunities for our farmers, for our women entrepreneurs, for the textile sector, for MSME sector, for the auto component sector, aircraft part manufacturers, the engineering industry, the medicine, generic medicine, pharmaceutical industry. Our startups will get new opportunities. And importantly, the double contribution convention agreement will ensure that those who come to serve in the UK on short-term work visas up to 3 years will not have to pay almost 12.5% of their own money and 12.5% of their employers' money. That is 25% into the social security system here. Instead, that will be paid in their provident fund account in India, which will not only earn them over 8% tax-free return, but also become their savings, rather than being lost when they came in for short-term work in UK. That money in UK was never paid back to the employees. But now, for up to 3 years, this money will be the savings of the employees, making our services sector much more competitive and therefore opening up the doors for much more of the services-based industries to serve in UK.
The deal was formalized in presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his British counterpart Keir Starmer.
आज हमारे संबंधों में एक ऐतिहासिक दिवस है। मुझे प्रसन्नता है कि कई वर्षों की मेहनत के बाद आज दोनों देशों के बीच कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इकोनॉमिक एंड ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट संपन्न हुआ है। इस समझौते के साथ ही डबल कंट्रीब्यूशन कन्वेंशन पर भी सहमति बनी है। इससे दोनों के सर्विस सेक्टर, विशेषकर टेक्नोलॉजी और फाइनेंस के उसको एक नई ऊर्जा मिलेगी। ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस को गति मिलेगी। कॉस्ट ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस घटेगा और कॉन्फिडेंस ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस बढ़ेगा।
It is good for British workers in cutting-edge manufacturing, whisky distillers across Scotland, and the service sector in London, in Manchester and in Leeds. It is good for consumers because it will bring down prices on Indian goods in the United Kingdom, like clothes and shoes and food, and it will deliver benefits for the long term. It will add about £4.8 billion to the UK economy every year and £2.2 billion to wages and hundreds of millions of pounds to regions and nations up and down the United Kingdom. We both know this is the biggest and most economically significant trade deal that the UK has made since leaving the EU. And I think I can say that it's one of the most comprehensive deals that India has ever done. So thank you, Prime Minister, for your leadership and for your pragmatism.
The FTA is expected to benefit 99% Indian exports from tariff and will make it easier for British firms to export whiskey, cars and other products to India besides boosting the overall trade basket, according to officials.
This should become a template. The UK-India Free Trade Agreement should become a template for India's deal with other important like-minded countries like US or EU or Japan. Already we have one free trade agreement with Australia. This is basically a harbinger of things to come and under extremely fast-moving conditions. I have always maintained that the geopolitics eats economics for breakfast.
While we see a very balanced approach which opens up significant opportunities for our financial sector, services sector, but there is on the banking one major issue which has been really been a thorn like is the branches. Now, the FTA, as we have felt when we were discussing, that it is something which is like a start point, right? And there will be many other issues which will keep coming up, which we will need to sort out. The FTA provides a huge highway through which many opportunities will open up. And these issues, which will, I think, definitely get addressed as we go over time, because these will be so much necessary for us to be in place, bank branches, say, for instance, as we go along. And there is a mechanism which has been set up, which is, again, Mr. Mittal is the co-chair from the Indian side of the CEO forum between India and UK. And that forum is the one which will take up many of these issues very clearly. So while there is a strong emphasis on the fintech side of collaborations, which and the bank, therefore the banking and the financial services companies, they will be able to get into some good access into the UK market, especially professional expertise. We will have there are issues like the bank branches or mutual qualifications. All of that we will see how we can address as we go along.
The trade deal, firmed up after 3 years of negotiations, is expected to ensure comprehensive market access for Indian goods across all sectors, and India will gain from tariff elimination on about 99% of tariff lines, product categories, covering almost 100% of the trade values, they said.
We believe that this FTA is pretty historic between India and the UK, because it will strengthen our economic ties between the two countries across a lot of sectors. But at the end of the day, and it'll obviously lead to increased bilateral trade and investments. However, for our sector, while lots of sectors are going to benefit, right, as you might have read, about 99 lines of business would, sectors would benefit, especially very high labor intensive ones. For the alcohol sector, the benefit is only singular in terms of the fact that a lot of our member companies who do manufacture Indian whiskey, and whiskey as a category in India is very big, they would be able to buy watered malt spirit, which is Scotch spirit, and we buy that in bulk. So for blending with other ingredients in India. So for them, they would find it, they would find some cost efficiencies out there, and a number of our members have also commented on it.
ये डील दोनों देशों के लिए अच्छी रहेगी, क्योंकि इसके लिए दोनों देशों का जो कारोबार है वो बढ़ेगा. मैं स्पेसिफिकली इंजीनियरिंग सेक्टर की बात करता हूँ, क्योंकि हमारा क्षेत्र है. इसमें इंजीनियरिंग सेक्टर में हम मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम वी आर द लार्जेस्ट सेक्टर आउट ऑफ इंडिया, इवन फॉर इन दिस. हमारा $4.2 बिलियन का एक्सपोर्ट है अभी फ़िलहाल. बट ये हमारा स्कोप जो है बहुत ज़्यादा है. हम सोचते हैं कि ये डील के साथ जो हमारे को ड्यूटी फ्री एक्सेस मिल रहा है काफ़ी आइटमों में, इंजीनियरिंग में, स्पेशली ऑटो एंड ऑटो कंपोनेंट्स में हमको बहुत फ़ायदा हो रहा है. तो हमारा एक्सपोर्ट करीब 2 साल में 7.5 से $8 बिलियन हो जाएगा. तो मतलब डबल हो जाएगा नियरली.
ऐतिहासिक व्यापार समझौता है जिसके लिए हमारे जो निगोशिएटर थे पिछले 3 साल से वो लगातार काम कर रहे थे और ये बहुत हर्ष का विषय है कि हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर आज वो यूके में हैं जो इस एग्रीमेंट को फाइनल शेप दे रहे हैं और ये एग्रीमेंट हमारे एक्सपोर्ट्स के लिए बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। इसका सबसे ज्यादा फायदा हमारे स्मॉल एंड मीडियम सेक्टर को मिलेगा क्योंकि जो हमारे ट्रेडिशनल एक्सपोर्ट्स हैं, चाहे हम उनकी बात करें कि वो हमारे कपड़े का है या हम वस्त्र का कर रहे हैं या फुटवेयर एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं या हम जेम एंड ज्वेलरी एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, मरीन प्रोडक्ट एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, फूड प्रोडक्ट एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, जो खिलौना का एक्सपोर्ट होता है, स्पोर्ट्स गुड्स का एक्सपोर्ट होता है, ये हमारा इससे ज्यादा काफी बढ़ेगा। दूसरी चीज हमारे जो एक्सपोर्ट है, जैसे हम ऑटो कंपोनेंट एक्सपोर्ट है, मशीनरी एक्सपोर्ट है, ऑर्गेनिक केमिकल एक्सपोर्ट्स है, तो ये एक्सपोर्ट भी बढ़ेगा। हमने देखा है कि जो यूके के साथ हमारा जो ज्यादा एक्सपोर्ट है वो सर्विसेज का एक्सपोर्ट है, आईटी एनेबल्ड सर्विसेज का है, प्रोफेशनल सर्विसेज हैं, बिजनेस सर्विसेज हैं, एजुकेशनल सर्विसेज हैं, तो इन सर्विसेज का भी एक्सपोर्ट काफी तेजी में बढ़ेगा। हम दोनों कंट्री ने बोला है जो हमारा बायलैटरल ट्रेड जो करीब अभी $60 बिलियन के डॉलर का है उसको हम बढ़ा के 2030 तक $120 बिलियन ले जाएंगे। तो बहुत बढ़िया है समझौता है जिससे एक तरह से हमारे लेबर इंटेंसिव सेक्टर एक्सपोर्ट का बढ़ेगा, दूसरे हमारे जो सनराइज सेक्टर एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ेगा और तीसरे हमारे जो सर्विसेज एक्सपोर्ट है उसका भी बहुत ज्यादा होगा।
इसमें जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेटिंग सेक्टर्स हैं, जहाँ पे लेबर इंटेंसिव सेक्टर्स जिनको कहते हैं कि टेक्सटाइल है, फुटवेयर, लेदर, ये सब एरियाज हैं, इनमें जरूर काफी फायदा होगा। इसमें मार्केट एक्सेस मिलेगा और क्योंकि ज्यादा मार्केट एक्सेस मिलेगा, ज्यादा प्रोडक्शन होगा, तो अगर ये एक्सपैंड करेंगे तो एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज डेफिनेटली बढ़ेंगी और इनमें बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज एमएसएमई में आती हैं। सो दैट एक्सप्लेन्स द बेनिफिट दैट द एमएसएमईज कुड पोटेंशियली गेट फ्रॉम हियर।